How you doing, folks? Just a quick review of the Ford Transit Connect, or as this one's called, it's a Ford Journey because it's been adapted as a taxi. I'm going to apologise in advance because it's a bit dark tonight at this hour, so full apologies there. I'm kind of curious, mainly because I've seen the reviews online, and the US spec vans seem to be a lot different from this one. Now, the interior is pretty much identical. You know, there is nothing much different. Some people doing reviews in the US have said they get a colour screen as standard with reversing camera. This one doesn't have it. You can get it as an optional extra, or in the higher up models, it is a standard feature. Gear stick, manual. It's a Transit. It's a must. You need to have a manual with a Transit, otherwise it's just not right. Other little things: rear fog light buttons. Rear fog lights, legal requirement in the UK. Just switch them on, along with the front ones. But apart from that, and of course the obvious, the steering wheel is on the opposite side. The dashboards are pretty much the same. Equipment that this one has, well, to start off with, USB, 12 volt, another 12 volt, and another USB, plus another 12 volt in the back. This one also comes equipped even with sync. Now, I'm Scottish, and anyone else who's Scottish will feel my pain that nothing recognises your voice. It never understands what you're saying. So it's pretty much a redundant feature. What is a good feature is this: front, rear heated windows and mirrors. That is used more often than you want it to be used. Electric windows, all round, electric mirrors. The dash, basic layout. And you can see here, this little car, or this little van even, is getting 38.1 miles to the gallon. And it's freezing. As you can see, it's 2 Celsius. Now, the car itself, this is the, how would you say it, standard wheelbase or short wheelbase. There is a longer wheelbase version, but this is just the standard. Get a better idea. Door shut. Back, pretty much the same, with the exception of the rear fog lights. You don't get that as a standard, as it is standard in US models. Rear space, once again I apologise, the lights are on, but it's pitch black here. And come to the front, pretty much standard. If you've seen a Transit Connect, this will be very familiar to you. Another small difference is the wing mirrors. Seen in the US, they have a blind spot up here, whereas ours is down here. Now, what's pretty cool about this little car, well, this little van, I keep saying car, but it's a van, is that it has a tiny engine. And I do mean tiny. It is a 1.5, that's right, 1.5 TDCi. And here's the engine. Now bear in mind, that is your brake reservoir and your power steering, fuse boxes, air filter, more fuse boxes. That's your screen wash, and in the middle, just to get a kind of size, that's the engine. Now, that plastic cover is actually bigger than the engine itself. You take that plastic cover away and the engine is tiny. And a bigger light on the roof. It is a taxi. This is a Hackney. These are used in many parts of the UK, not all because they're not up to spec for some regions, but they are used all over the UK in different areas. Doesn't have electric rear doors. That's just not a feature on it. I don't know if it is a feature on the Connect. I've not seen any with it. I'm sure you'll correct me. I'm sure somebody out there will be willing to correct me. But the car inside is pretty... Really set. I'll try and turn the torch on. No, the phone I'm using is crap. Storage space above. Taxi meter. And a brilliant place to block out the light. That was well thought out. Sun visors, which are just huge. I don't know why they are so big. Sorry, train going past. But inside, very quiet. These are excellent little vans. The Transit is just fantastic. I've drove many of them over the years. They just keep getting better and better. Ford have got this down to a T. You know, this little van, you know, it gets excellent mileage. It started off on its shift with a full tank, as it always does, and it's now sitting at just over 3/4 of a tank. You know, fantastic. So it's very, very frugal. Doesn't use a lot in fuel. But I think that's it. I mean, there's not much different between the two. I mean, yeah, gearbox, US are going to have automatic. That's what they use. The engine size is very, very, it's so different. It is so much smaller than the US one. You know, radio buttons. I think the US ones have got satellite radio. Now, I know that these stereos themselves, they do differ. You can go for you can get a much better one than this. This is kind of middle of the range, but there is a poverty spec one available if you don't want to spend the money on it. You know, there's a poverty spec version of this car which has got nothing, doesn't have aircon. Basically, I think you've got power steering, CD player, and the air that's in the cockpit. I think that's about it. But yeah, I mean, they are decent. Leg room in the back, not that you can see much because it's dark. Yeah, it's alright. It's not too bad. You know, there's better out there. But decent little car, decent little van. I keep saying car, it's a van. You know, it's Ford know how to make these. They really do. They've had so many years of making these things, and they've got it down to a T. They really have. You know, the plastics, yeah. You know, it's never going to be classed as luxury, is it? But at the end of the day, it is a works vehicle, regardless whether it's a taxi, a van, whatever. It's here to do a job. It's a tool for a job. They're not going to be, you know, luxury spec, unless of course you want one with leather interior. But I doubt the dash would change much, no matter how high the spec is. I think the dash is going to remain pretty much the same. This might be different from what the US has, I don't know. The central locking buttons are mounted in the centre. I think the US ones are mounted here, where this should have worked harder button is. And this one does not have heated seats. It has got the world's flimsiest credit card holder. Oh, it does have a change holder, which doesn't really hold change very well. I've noticed that. It also has another change holder in the middle, which you can take out in between the cup holders to create a smaller cup holder. But yeah, that's it. No, handbrake, pretty much standard, isn't it? And I think that's it. I mean, the computers on board them, yeah, I think the features are basically the same. You know, information, all systems normal. Basically just gives you an active readout if something's there. You know, if the doors are open, if you get a fault with the car, whatever, it will tell you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. So that's the Ford Transit Connect, or Ford Journey as this is known. Any comments, just put them down below. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.